Guys, do these wings make me look basic? Don't answer that. We live life so passively. We have walked by many of these, at least I have, and I've never stopped to wonder, wait, when? Why? Who? So that's what we're answering today. The only thing I know for sure is that the artist community's reaction to these wings is gonna be pretentious. For whatever reason, popular and trending equals bad. Let's talk about that.
That's it! This is the best part!
Hi, I'm Athena P. The last time I sat down and we spoke together, I went through a very personal journey of me and this app that shut down that was a social media site. But today we're talking about a photo op, particularly these wings. What I personally like about these wings is how customizable they are. They can represent a place with images inside the wing representing the community. It literally does no harm unless the artist is hired to paint over something more meaningful to the community. Like, I remember there was some TikTok art drama about this lady being commissioned to paint little pizzas, and I was like, why is that? And then I saw the mural before and I was like, ooh. Yeah, that was a choice. Let's start from the beginning. Who is really responsible for these wings? Back in 2012, Colette Miller was driving around Los Angeles and had a vision to paint these angel wings. She called it the Angel Wings Project to remind humanity we are the angels of this earth. What's cute about this is that Los Angeles is the city of angels, so there couldn't be a better place for this to originate. And plus, this was the start of many social media platforms, and especially people gaining a platform. And I don't think this was her intention. She gave a whole TED talk about it. She started to see people take pictures in front of it, and she thought it was so beautiful that people were becoming part of her art. She has a map of all the places her wings have been, and I know for a fact they have been so many more places. But this format actually wasn't popularized by Colette. It was popularized by Kelsey Montague, and if you go on both of their websites, they're low-key indistinguishable from each other. Did you know almost every set of wings has hidden images woven into the design? Kelsey researches the local community and works with each client to curate a selection of images to incorporate the area's culture and history into the original design. So that is kind of where they differ. Kelsey is a bit more, from what I've seen, experimentational with it. Experimental with it, I should say. Like, for this one community, she painted bat wings to raise awareness about bats and paint bats in a better light, which I think is so cute. So they don't have to be angel wings. They could be anything with wings is wings. Butterfly wings, bird wings, dragonfly wings. The possibilities are actually endless. But why did Kelsey's blow up? In 2019, she worked with Taylor Swift. That's why. I mean, there's no platform bigger, come on. My immediate thought is, have Kelsey and Colette ever met? Rhyme, bars. But as far as I know, it doesn't look like it. I googled it every which way, and that makes me feel like, and pardon my theory flying off
There's no one in your contacts named Little Love. Whose contact info are you looking for?
What is this bitch talking about?
I'm currently speaking at 75%.
Talk at 0%, you stupid bitch. Anyway, so, pardon my... Oh, I said theory. That's why she freaked out like that. Pardon my little theory, but this makes me think, since they've never acknowledged each other and they are cornering the exact same market, I think they're beefing. I do think they're beefing a little bit. I don't know why. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's just weird that they've never acknowledged each other's existence. I was looking for tweets and on Facebook and in articles. Nope. As far as I know, they could be the same person. I've never seen them in the same room. I ran into this hilarious blog post from Camels and Chocolate, but this was posted April 14th, 2020. About those wing murals, a plea from artists everywhere. And again, this is an opinion piece, but the tone of it is so condescending. 5 years into running our creative placemaking nonprofit, where we get a little, I think, link to that, so... Okay, plug. Okay, little plug of yourself right off the bat. We've started to see a pattern anytime we approach a business owner about using their wall for a mural installation. This is almost always how it goes, verbatim. After we explain to them that we're going to fix up their building for free. So that is important to know, for free. How about a flag, they ask? Something historical that represents the town. Or wait, I know! Let's paint wings! I'm not kidding when I say that 9 times out of 10, building owners ask for wing murals because they don't know any better. So that already is like a lot of aggression right out of the gate. I think that they do know what they want, and what they want is these wings, because it's really easy to have your business name above, and now all of a sudden you're getting free promotion from the people that are going to take pictures with wings. I would say it's not that deep, but for this person it is, because they feel like they're creatively being stifled. You are providing a service for free, so I understand you want to let your creativity flow. It's not like a traditional commission where you're like, okay, I'm getting money from this person, I'm just going to do whatever they say, but they do own the building. So it's like, you want to work with them, and now you're critiquing the very popular choice because you're sick of it. I get it. I've been guilty of taking photographs in front of wing murals back when they were still a novelty. And sure, it's tough for people who aren't immersed in art. Bro, I don't think it's about the expression. I think it's about whoever owns the building. Like, let's say it's a deli. Let's say it's a bar. They aren't thinking about things that'll make people think. Whether you're a rural community, a vibrant micropolitan, or a bustling metropolis, in a time where we're all at home and reevaluating our lives and businesses is the perfect opportunity to think about how we all work with artists. This is everyone's priority in April 2020. You're critiquing what brings people joy. In April 2020. Okay.
There's people that are dying.
Have you thought about hiring a muralist to paint a wall on your building? Great. Do you think you're going to ask, in parentheses, tell them to paint wings? Wrong. If you think that's such a great idea, then clearly you should just paint it yourself, rather than spending your hard-earned dollars on a professional muralist who is far beyond that in his or her career. So now you're just speaking for anybody who does commissions. I'm sure there are people that just need the check. They're like, okay, I love my artistic vision and I can do it on a canvas at home. This is my job. I need to put food on my table. That's what I hate, is the generalizing. It's like, and you will insult them. I don't think every single artist would be insulted by that. We have 34-year-old artist Kelsey Montague to thank, in parentheses, blame, for the wings mural trend. Okay. Whew. It's easy to see how the wing murals became the thing to do, and they pretty much beg for a photo op, right? But guess what? So does pretty much every mural ever created. That's the beauty of public art in the first place. So this is an interesting turn of events, because now you're trying to market every other mural as just as photogenic, which I agree. I've taken some beautiful pictures of murals. Me personally, with other murals, I just take the picture of them. I just don't feel like I am a piece of that puzzle to like stand in front of and pose. For the wings, you're like, oh, I belong here, cheese. And it's so funny because like I thought this artist was gonna speak out against the self-centeredness of it all, the vapidness of it all, whatever people say about people having fun and taking photos of themselves. Give me a break. This person is saying, photograph yourself in front of the other art pieces. Okay. They do point out another piece of Kelsey's art that's actually her favorite, and it's this hot air balloon, which is very cute. But again, that is different than the other pieces you're giving credit to, because there's a place for you to stand and say cheese. I didn't even realize it, but I actually have posed with one of Kelsey Montague's other murals that aren't the wings. She's just really good at making art you can stand in front of and take a picture of yourself. Is that so wrong? The perfect comparison to me is like those carnival cutouts with the heads where you stick your head through and you have like a muscly body or a lady on the beach. That's another thing where it's like same format. You don't have to paint the face because you're the face and then you just whatever. I wonder if back in the day whenever that was created, if everyone was complaining like, oh, it's not deep. The tortured artist mentality, we will never escape from it. They're doing the exact opposite of art's purpose, to create a unique experience. And then they say, art is about being individualistic, showing one's soul, not somebody else's. Mind you, that quote from that guy, here's his art. It's art of athletes. One is based on a trading card, which he said he loves to do. So a lot of people paint athletes. That's still art. Like, by your logic, you're calling your own art not art because other people have done it before.
Wake up!
They're not original. In fact, nothing is more uninspiring. I don't know, dude. I think uninspiring is putting something popular down to lift something that needs more attention up. The good intentions are there, but talking down to people and shitting all over something they enjoy is not the way to get them to appreciate the rest of the artistic genre. And on top of that, like, I'm so tired of the myth that something has to be really deep for it to be art. I literally scribble on my face. A lot of people hate the makeup looks I do on my main channel. Doesn't fucking matter, still art. Those things that you stick your head through at carnivals that I was just talking about, it's still art. It serves a different purpose than art hanging up in a museum. It serves a different purpose than Grecian sculptures, these ancient, intricate pieces of work that took somebody's whole life to create with their own two hands and the limited tools they had. Ringo's fucking paint art is still art. Does it suck? Yeah, but it's still art. I didn't catch this, but she calls this mural not art because they were paid to advertise something. I didn't realize the paint just evaporated into thin air and that person's work is no longer even categorized as the thing it is. She comes across as so mean. Like, I don't like it. It's still art. It just serves a different purpose. What are we doing? Let's talk about those cutouts. There's this article from photocutouts.co.uk that was posted in 2023 and it goes over the history. Let's take a look. Face and hole boards are a great British seaside tradition, but where did they actually originate? Surely they started in English Victorian times during the Great Bathing Hut and Donkey Ride epoch. Not so fast. I understand that I'm looking at a website that ends in .uk, so maybe more British people are reading this, but that is just so funny that they have that as the hook. Because they're like, surely this is what you're thinking. Never in a million years would I have thought that, dog, but continue. Our brains seem to be hardwired to find it funny when a disembodied head becomes part of a fictional scene. Okay. The first time a cave dweller put their face through a hole in an animal's skin, the first face and hole was born. So they're just being cheeky. They're being a little cheeky bugger. Because we don't know if cave people did that, but wouldn't surprise me. Maybe they also made it look like they had wings. So this is awesome. Apparently the patent for people sticking their head through a board and making it look like their head's on somebody else's body, that patent was created by Cassius Coolidge, who made the famous painting of the dogs playing poker. So talk about range. The dog playing poker, while comedic, does show a bit more, from my perspective, a level of skill, a level of technique. In 1874, Coolidge was granted a patent for producing caricature photographic images by means of board or card, stiff material having a miniature body or other design thereon, the same being held up close to the person or subject to be photographed, arranged so as to represent a complete although disproportioned figure. He's saying the head belongs on the body. So as long as the camera has existed, these silly photo ops have existed. Cause it's fun. Cause humans like having a little giggle. And you know what? Maybe that can be through art. Maybe art can be something to just amuse us. I understand when you put your life into your craft and you want it to really represent you. And maybe when you see this thing that you don't think is as deep or as meaningful, it can hurt your pride or hurt your chance of being seen, but there is a different demographic for everyone. What I hated when I was in theater school is that we had to do all this internal work as actors, and there were these talkbacks where we really talked about, oh yeah, so what was your character's motivation in this scene, this, that. I don't know, whatever the tragic backstory is. And as we were doing this, I saw people's egos rise and rise and rise. And I really thought about average audiences, and I was like, I don't think they'd give a shit. I think they'd just want to laugh. This is a comedy. Why do we need to know the subtext? So there's nothing in the text to even indicate it. It's just whatever the actor thinks it's fun to play with. And that's fine. Like, you could do all the artsy stuff, and there will be a group that appreciates that. How do I say this without discouraging so many people? The more specific you make a piece, the more specific the group of people that are going to enjoy the piece are going to be. When I started making videos on my main channel all about overanalyzing cartoons, I kind of knew I was going to attract people like me, neurodivergent and gay as hell. Overall, I'm sure there are people that can enjoy my work that don't fit into that category, but I know that is the majority, okay? It's just statistics. So the fact that that first article was like, you can take pictures with these murals. the people that are taking pictures with the wings, as much as they love the wings, they're still the center of the piece. When you stick your head through a cutout, it's funny because it's your face. You're not going to take a picture of the cutout with no one's face in it. Going back to what I said about demographics, you don't have to make art focusing on who your art is going to appeal to, but I think that the hatred of trends does come from this place of, why not me? Why not me? It doesn't sound like you want to make a piece that applies to everyone. I mean, it's as simple as that. And there are plenty of people, think of it as a Venn diagram. I can appreciate very deep, very personal art, and I like those fucking wings. I'm sorry. I like how versatile they are. I like that I can stand there and be like this. Wee! So all that article did, from my perspective, maybe I'm just being really hard on this blog writer who maybe has changed their opinions in these last 5 years, but how it appears to me, who's the demographic that likes both these things, you are scaring people away. You will never pitch something to somebody where in the same breath you're calling that person an idiot. It doesn't work. There's always gonna be people, whether in entertainment, painting, BFA motherfuckers, they're gonna be obnoxious about what constitutes real art. I ranted back in the day, and I'm gonna do it again. There's talk of influencers joining the actors union. And I saw people I went to school with, real artsy fartsy actor types, being like, I don't want to be lumped into the same category as influencers. You asshole. It's about making sure we're not taken advantage of in our fields and to make sure we're being paid correctly. How are you going to fight against people's best interest just so you could be the one true artist? Even in that article, I'm sorry, what really bothered me about it was we have this person to blame for this trend. You hate to see somebody that's not you winning. Artists should uplift each other, and I know people are going to say that's such an empty sentiment, that's so performative, not everyone can like everything. I completely agree, not everyone can like everything. But that doesn't mean you have to lead a hate campaign against people just painting wing murals. Who cares? I'm not saying you have to be fake and be like, that's the best piece of art I've ever seen. I love that when you actually hate it. But what I'm saying is, why don't you focus on what you're good at? I feel like there are so many artists that insult the Cal art style with the bean mouth. Make your own art. Focus on your own art. Think about what you're putting out there in the world. Is this making the impact you want it to make?
But those wing murals aren't making the impact I want them to make.
Then don't paint the wings. Don't post pictures with the wings. But I'm going to post pictures with them still. I saw this one that was made out of the little lights, combining two different trends together. Look at this one. This is a butterfly you could stick your head through. It's like the cutout, but it still has the wings. On the website Design Your Trust, back in 2019, we are seeing the innovation of a man named Sebuyama, who wanted to wear the wings mural, but on the go. Wait, what? How would he do that? It's on a wall. He made portable wing mural, aka the wings. I mean, I could buy wings from Party City, but I can't. Because it's dead. Listen, I think it is for a magazine that's all about crafts, so that is cute as a craft idea. I just love the idea of a whole article dedicated to it. Like, look at what we discovered. This was a thing for forever, but I love the energy. I love things that make people happy. Have a great day. I demand it. People say my songs aren't really music. People say my drawings aren't really art. People say the sounds that come from my butt are not a trumpet and just a fart. What's the next part? Oh yeah. Fuck you and your bitch ass mouth. Fuck you and the pretension that you spew out. Fuck your restrictions that aren't there. And fuck you for thinking that I should care. The only thing that's not art is AI. The only thing that's not art is AI. The only thing that's not art is AI. When someone gets commissioned, you should not cry, 'cause the only thing that's not art is AI.